I swear, I didn't plan to destroy her marriage that night. But when you spend your whole life being treated like the family disappointment, and you finally learn the truth, sometimes the words just slip out. It all started 3 months ago. My sister, Elena, has always been the golden child. Beautiful, successful, married to the man everyone in our family worships, Ryan. They had this picture-perfect love story that made people gag and smile at the same time. Meanwhile, I'm the divorced one, the unstable one, the one mom whispers about during brunch. So when Elena invited me to their 10-year anniversary party, I almost didn't go, but she called me, using that same condescending tone she's always used. Come on, Jess, it'll be fun. You can even bring a friend. Maybe you'll finally meet someone. I laughed it off, but that little jab burned. A week before the party, I was out at a small wine bar with a friend from work, Lydia. We were chatting when she suddenly froze mid-sentence. Her eyes flicked toward the bar and whispered, Jess, isn't that your brother-in-law? I turned, and there he was, Ryan, arm around some woman who was definitely not my sister. They were laughing like a couple in love. At first, I thought maybe it was innocent, maybe a coworker. But then, I watched him kiss her. Right there. No hesitation, no guilt. I felt my stomach twist. I didn't even know the girl, but she looked about 24, way too young for him. Lydia reached for my arm. Jess, don't go over there. But I did. When I confronted him, he looked shocked, then angry. Jess, this isn't what it looks like, he said. I asked him flat out. So kissing her was part of a business meeting? He sighed, grabbed my wrist, and muttered, Don't tell Elena. You'll ruin everything. That line echoed in my head all night. Don't tell Elena. You'll ruin everything. I tried to do the right thing. I went home, sat on my bed, and stared at my phone for hours. Should I tell her? Should I stay out of it? But every time I pictured her posting one of those nauseating my perfect husband photos, my stomach churned harder. So I decided to tell her, but not right away. I wanted proof. 2 weeks later, proof found me. One of Ryan's coworkers, who knew I was Elena's sister, sent me a screenshot. Ryan had been taking weekend trips with that same woman for months. Receipts, texts, hotel confirmations, everything. And then, the kicker. The woman's name was Lena. My sister's name, Elena. You can't make that up. I stared at the name for so long it blurred. And that's when the idea formed. I wasn't going to ruin anything. I was going to expose the truth, but not by text, not in private, not after years of being humiliated by her perfect life. No. She was going to hear it in front of everyone. The night of the party arrived. The whole family was there, 3 cousins, aunts, even my parents, who hadn't been in the same room together in a decade. Everything looked like a Pinterest board. Champagne glasses, fairy lights, happy music. Elena stood in the center, glowing in her white dress. Ryan beside her, smug as ever. They clinked glasses and made a toast about 10 years of loyalty, laughter, and unconditional love. That word, loyalty, hit me like a punch. I didn't plan to speak, but something in me snapped when Mom looked at me with that same judgmental smirk. I stood up, glass shaking in my hand, and said, You know, loyalty's a funny thing, especially when your husband's been loyal to 2 women at the same time. The entire room froze. Elena laughed nervously. Jess, what are you talking about? I turned to Ryan. Maybe ask Lena. I'm sure she'd love to make a toast too. Gasps. Aunt Claire dropped her fork. Ryan's face went white as the tablecloth. Elena looked confused at first. Then I watched her realization spread like wildfire. She whispered, What did you just say? Ryan tried to pull her away, mumbling something about a misunderstanding, but she shoved him off. People started whispering. Phones came out, and I just stood there. That's when everything fell apart. Elena demanded proof, and I gave it to her. Screenshots, emails, everything. The silence in that room was unbearable. She ran out crying. Ryan followed. I just sat down and finished my drink. Half the guests glared at me. The other half looked like they'd just watched an episode of Real Housewives. My mom stormed over, red-faced. Jessica, how could you? You embarrassed this family. I said quietly, No, Mom. He embarrassed her. I just stopped pretending. That night, I went home shaking. Part of me felt powerful. Part of me felt sick. I'd wanted justice. But had I gone too far? When I woke up the next morning, my phone was already blowing up. 23 missed calls, 17 unread messages, and one from my mom that just said, You've gone too far, Jessica. I stared at the screen, my stomach churning. The high from the night before was gone. Now there was just silence and regret. My sister hadn't called, not a single text, just a black hole of nothingness. Then Lydia texted, Girl, it's all over Facebook. I opened the app, and there it was, a post from one of Elena's friends. So much for perfect marriages, #anniversary disaster, #drama night. Hundreds of comments, people speculating, gossiping, tagging each other, and worse, a picture. Someone had actually posted a photo of me, standing with a wine glass mid-toast, Ryan and Elena frozen beside me. It had gone semi-viral in our small city overnight. My phone buzzed again, Dad calling. I answered, hesitant. Dad, Jess, what the hell happened last night? Me, I told her the truth. Dad, you could have told her privately. Me, I tried. Dad, he begged me not to. He's been cheating for months. Dad, You humiliated your sister in front of everyone. That's not justice, that's revenge. He hung up before I could respond. And maybe he was right. But wasn't I just doing what everyone said they wanted, the truth? By noon, I got a text from an unknown number. It was short. You ruined my life. I hope you're happy. Ryan. I blocked him immediately. But my hands wouldn't stop shaking. Later that day, Elena finally called. Her voice was cracked, exhausted. She didn't sound angry, just hollow. Elena, you could have told me quietly. Me, I didn't know how. You never listened to me. Elena, so you destroyed my marriage to get my attention? Me, no. Elena, do you have any idea how humiliating that was? Everyone was recording, Jess. Everyone. There was silence on the line. Then she whispered, I hate you for how you did it, but I don't hate you for telling me. And then, click. Call ended. That night, I cried harder than I had in years. Not because I regretted telling the truth, but because I realized I'd lost her. My only sister. My only real family connection. I spent hours scrolling through the party photos people had posted. Everyone looked so happy in the beginning. Before I opened my mouth. Before everything turned into a wreckage. 2 days later, she posted something on Instagram. A blank black square with the caption, sometimes truth feels like betrayal. I wanted to comment, to explain, but I didn't. I just liked the post. Maybe that was my way of saying I get it. Then came the real storm. Ryan's company got wind of the scandal. Turns out, the woman he was seeing, Lena, was a junior employee. When HR found out, they launched an internal investigation. Within a week, Ryan was suspended, and guess who the internet decided to blame? Me. Some of Elena's friends were saying I'd exaggerated things or set him up. People love drama, and they love to rewrite the story. Someone even messaged me, you could have ruined an innocent man's career. I didn't reply, because deep down, I knew he wasn't innocent. A week later, Elena showed up at my apartment. No makeup, puffy eyes. She looked human, not the polished version of her I'd known my whole life. She didn't knock, just walked in and said, he admitted it. I froze. All of it? She nodded, staring at the floor. Yeah, said it started during the pandemic. He said he felt lonely. Like that excuses anything. She sat on the couch, gripping a tissue. For the first time, she didn't look like my perfect older sister. She looked broken. We sat in silence for a long time. Then she said, quietly, you shouldn't have done it like that. I know, but thank you, I guess. Tears started streaming down her face. And that's when she said something I didn't expect. Do you remember when we were kids, and you told mom that dad was sneaking cigarettes? You were always the one who told the truth, even when it made everyone mad. I laughed weakly. Yeah, and nobody ever thanked me for it. She smiled for a second. Some things don't change. That moment felt like a truce, but it didn't last long, because the next day, mom called again. Only this time, she wasn't angry. She was desperate. Jess, you need to help us. Ryan's threatening to sue for defamation. He says you cost him his promotion. I nearly dropped my phone. Sue me for telling the truth? He says you had no proof he was cheating at the time of the announcement. Mom, I literally showed screenshots. He's saying they were fake. I sat there, speechless. That's when I realized this wasn't over. Not even close. That week, I met with a lawyer. I showed him the proof, the texts, the emails, the coworker messages. He said calmly, you're fine. Truth is a defense. But if this escalates, it'll get messy. Messy was an understatement. Ryan started messaging people, mutual friends, even coworkers, saying I was jealous of their marriage, that I'd do anything for attention. And worse, some people believed him. Because why wouldn't they? He was charming, articulate, well-loved. I was the quiet, awkward sister with a reputation for stirring things up. Every time I logged onto social media, I saw another post, another jab. People calling me the drama sister, the villain in my own story. One night, Elena texted me again. He's moving out tomorrow. Then another message. Mom's siding with him. That one hurt the most. I asked her why. Because she said at least he kept up appearances. Appearances. That word summed up my entire family. A few weeks later, I ran into Ryan by accident, at a grocery store of all places. He looked tired, thinner. He walked right up to me, eyes cold. Ryan, you won. Me, this wasn't a game. Ryan, it always is, Jess. You just don't like losing. Then he smirked. The same arrogant smirk that used to charm everyone. I wanted to slap him. Instead, I said quietly, enjoy your loneliness. You've earned it. And I walked away. By then, the damage was done. Elena filed for divorce quietly. Ryan left town a month later. And just like that, the golden couple was gone. But the gossip never stopped. Even now, when people see me, I can feel the whisper that's the sister who ruined the party. Sometimes, I wonder if I am the A**hole. If maybe I let my resentment build too long, and it exploded in the worst possible way. But then I remember that look on Elena's face when she realized the truth. The way she cried, the way she said he admitted it. And I know, if I hadn't done it, she'd still be living a lie. It's been a year since that night, a whole year since the party, the chaos, the shouting, and the silence that followed. Sometimes I still replay it in my head, the clinking glasses, the fake laughter, the moment I said two women at the same time. It doesn't feel real anymore. It feels like watching a stranger ruin her life on a TV screen. But that stranger was me. After the divorce, everything changed. Elena moved out of their big suburban house and rented a small apartment downtown. She sold her wedding ring, deleted her social media, and went dark for months. Mom stopped speaking to me for a while. She said I'd disgraced the family, as if exposing the truth was worse than the lie itself. Dad tried to stay neutral, but he avoided family dinners too. It felt like everyone had chosen a side, and mine wasn't the winning one. I focused on my own life. Therapy, new job, new apartment, no more family expectations, no more being the messy one. But healing is weird. It's not linear. Some days, I felt strong and proud. Other days, I'd wake up crying because I missed my sister's voice. Then one evening, out of nowhere, I got a text. "Hey, can we talk? Elena." It had been 6 months since we'd last spoken. My heart jumped. I typed back, of course. She came over the next day. Same apartment, same couch where she'd cried before. But this time, she looked lighter, peaceful, even. She hugged me first. That alone nearly broke me. "I just wanted to say thank you," she said quietly. "For what?" "For setting me free, even if it was the worst way possible." I laughed softly, tears already burning my eyes. "You sure took the scenic route to forgiveness." She smiled. "Yeah, I had to. I was angry for a long time, but I realized you didn't destroy my marriage." "He did. You just took off the mask." That hit me harder than I expected, because for months, I'd carried that guilt like a second skin. She told me about her life now. She'd gone back to school, studying interior design, something she'd always wanted to do before marrying Ryan. She even showed me her portfolio, bright, warm designs full of color and life. "I forgot who I was," she said. "I think he liked it that way." That line stuck with me, because I think a lot of women do forget who they are to keep something that looks perfect on the outside. Then she said something I'll never forget. "Do you know what people said after the party? That I was insane?" "No," she laughed. "Some did, but a few said they wished they had a sister like you. Someone brave enough to tell the truth, no matter the cost." I blinked back tears, because I'd never, not once, been called brave. Mostly, I'd been called loud, difficult, emotional, but not brave. After that day, we started rebuilding. Slowly. We had coffee on weekends. She'd send me photos of her projects. We didn't talk about Ryan much, only when necessary. And then, one day, she told me he'd moved states away. Apparently, he'd lost his job, tried starting a consulting business, and it failed. No one really wanted to work with the guy from the anniversary scandal. Karma, I guess. Slow, quiet karma. A few months later, Mom finally came around too. She called one night, voice shaky. "Your sister told me what he did." "I'm sorry, Jess. I shouldn't have blamed you." I didn't say it's okay. I just said, thanks. Because some wounds don't need forgiveness. They just need acknowledgement. Ida, I still think about that question sometimes. Was I wrong for how I did it? Maybe. I could have chosen a better time, a better way. I could have protected her dignity instead of lighting it on fire. But was I wrong for speaking up? For refusing to let a lie live another day? No, I wasn't. Sometimes the truth doesn't set everyone free right away. Sometimes it burns first. Sometimes it ruins dinner parties, family ties, reputations, all before it heals. But it does heal. Eventually. A year later, Elena and I were sitting at a small cafe. The sun was setting, painting the sky orange. She raised her cup of coffee and smiled. "To honesty," she said, "even the messy kind." I laughed, especially the messy kind. And for the first time in years, I felt peace. I don't know if I'm the A***** Cole. Maybe I am, a little. But I also know this. Sometimes, the truth needs someone willing to be the villain for a moment, so that someone else can finally live free.